What's going on YouTube? JT Born here, and welcome to another edition of After the Movie. So last night I went ahead and I watched the new Predator film, Predator, Killer of Killers, and I want to give my quick, unfiltered thoughts on it. Right out the get-go, I think this is the best Predator film since the original film starring Arnold Schwarzenegger, which is one of my favorite films of all time. It's in my top 5 for sure. I love the hell out of that movie. I really enjoyed Predator 2, and I enjoy a lot of the Predator stuff. So, Dan Trachtenberg, not too long ago, made Prey, which is a pretty solid prequel to Predator. But this film, I think, is a lot better. So he was the director on this thing. I think he kind of worked with somebody else. It's the first fully animated R-rated Predator film, and the Predator adapts very well to animation. Now, we have 2 Predator films coming out this year. We have this one, which is kind of the secret film, and then we have Predator Badlands coming out later on. After seeing trailers for both movies, like, this one kind of came out of nowhere, and I'm like, I kind of was a little bit more excited for this one than I am Predator Badlands, because I'm like, animation style, doing things we've always wanted to see with the Predator, and the Yautja's like, let's put them in different time periods, and the way it all kind of mixes together in a really, like, organic, interesting way. And with the third act that goes way more than I would have expected, this is the best Predator prequel, sequel, whatever you want to call it, that I think we've gotten in the entire franchise. I thought this movie was great. The animation looks spectacular, and the story and the concept with it all, and the different technologies and all that we see, and the way it kind of comes together with a really crazy jaw-dropping reveal at the very end. The Predator franchise is in good hands once more. So I'll briefly talk about the storyline, and then I do want to get into spoilers kind of towards, like, end and to see where we could kind of go from here. But I am really enthusiastic with what they did with Predator, Killer of Killers. So the storyline of this film is set amongst 3 different time periods as showcased in the trailer. The first one is kind of like early Viking era stuff, centered on a woman named Ursa and her son, and she's trying to kill some warlord. And then the Yautja comes in, and it's like this big juiced up steroid one that feels like something you'd see out of, like, the Predator movie. And then she has to kind of do battle with it. You see the different things, and this is a very violent, messed up R-rated film, and the carnage is amazing. I mean, people are getting split in all sorts of different ways. There's decapitations. The Predator will punch somebody's head clean off, and it's awesome. And the settings and all that, the way these warriors have to kind of battle, it's really, really cool. The second thing is about 2 brothers who are the sons of, like, a samurai warlord, and he's trying to find a successor, and it comes down between the 2 of them. One of them kind of runs away after fights, and one of them becomes kind of the next warlords of sorts. And then he comes in later on to try and steal the sword, and then they're kind of feuding brothers, and that's when the Predator comes in and just does battle these samurais. Now, what I love about the second storyline is a lot of it is done using pretty much mostly nonverbal storytelling, because a lot of people for years have wanted to see a Predator do battle with, like, a samurai, and it doesn't disappoint with this thing. You see the ninja skills, the way the camera kind of moves, like, you get shots you wouldn't really get in live action, and it's really, really cool, and it's epic, and it's visually, like, stimulating, and it's just really cool stuff. And then in the third storyline, it's set in World War I. We have a young pilot named Torres. Now, this one does something different as well, too. So it's the World War I time period, but it's more about fighter pilots doing battle with the Yautja in the sky. And you get these aerial battles, and the Predator ships have all sorts of weapons. If you've seen the trailer, you know there's where it spreads a hook. It goes right through the back of the engine, grabs some guy, and just kind of splits him. Like, people die in so many creative, graphic, violent ways. And I was just sitting there like, holy shit, there's that. Oh my God, there's that. And, like, I'm somebody who loves a little bit of destruction and some violent carnage and all that too. And seeing that did put a big smile on my face. And I'm like, yeah, that's exactly what I want to see. And it was awesome. Like, it was really, really cool. And, like, the way they all kind of, like, each one has their own distinct style, and look with it, the animation looks really great. And then there's more, which isn't showcased in the trailers. So if you haven't seen the movie yet, I'm going to get into the spoiler section right here. But if you're a fan of the Predator franchise like I am, this is one you definitely want to check out. So spoilers from this point onwards. So after it's the 3 segments, the final segment, like I said, with having the anthology angle, which is cool, you put the Predator in different time periods. The young guy, the pilot from World War I, he gets taken to, like, a Yautja, like, I don't know if it's the Yautja homeworld or just a war planet or whatnot. And then he's dropped in there. But it's also revealed that the Viking and the samurai were also taken, but they were put in suspended animation, which is something you would see in the Alien franchise, when people would kind of be trapped for hundreds of years, like with Ripley and all that. And that's such a cool concept. Like I said, taking these people from different time periods, putting them in suspended animation, and then just kind of waking them up there. And then you meet the Predator warlord. So we go to another planet of like predators, and they have this gladiator arena and all this. Now, this isn't showcased in any of the trailers. So when I'm sitting there, I'm like, oh my God, it keeps going. Because like you think it's just going to end right here. I'm like, okay, that was pretty awesome, but I'm expecting kind of an underwhelming ending. No, it just keeps going. And I'm like, yes, more of this. I didn't want it to end. And it does sequel bait itself at the end, but we'll get to that reveal in a second. And then the three of them are kind of like, you have the Yautja like warlord leader. And this is the first one I think that actually classifies them as Yautja, which was something that was showcased in the books. That's why when people are saying it for years and then you only see the movies, you're just like, well, how do they call him Yautja? But this is the first movie to really kind of showcase that, so I thought that was kind of cool. So they get the Predator warlord, and he's like, you three are going to fight each other with a weapon of choice, and when you're done, you're going to fight me to become like killer of killers or something like that. That's where the title comes in. So these three are like different language barriers. They kind of have these little things strapped to their neck straight out of like the Running Man, these collars that allow them to kind of like universal communication between the Yautja and the humans, and the violence and everything right there. It's all really cool stuff. And then we get like predator monsters that they got to fight and all that too. And then the three of them kind of have to work together to make their way out of the situation. The one Japanese samurai guy gets his arm cut off. The one guy kind of flies him out, and the Viking girl kind of sacrifices herself to make it like so they can escape. But then she gets captured, gets put in suspended animation, and the Predator warlord's kind of chanting right here, cheering that like, okay, they've kind of escaped, let's go hunting. Like he's got like a real hard on for this sort of thing. And the movie pretty much kind of ends in this really cool shot there, but then it keeps going a little bit, and we get the big reveal that there's all sorts of other things kept in suspended animation. It looked like a xenomorph alien type creature. And then the big kind of final reveal is Amber Midthunder's character from the movie Prey has been kept in suspended animation, as if to show that like, okay, so after Prey, she gets captured and she's kind of put on ice to be used for later on. So that reveal like made my jaw drop. Now, I saw some comments online saying that they thought Dutch, Arnold's character from the original Predator film, was also kind of kept aside. So, and I'm like, this could be the easy way to bring Arnold back into the franchise. I guess it won't make Predator Hunting Grounds or whatever as canon or whatever, how they did that, but this is the way to bring Arnold back in. Like, if you can't do the live action stuff, just make it animated. Like, Arnold's done voiceover work before. I'm sure, like, okay, cool. I don't have to, like, do all this stuff on camera. I can come back in an animated film that's pure canon with everything else and make it as awesome as this. I'm like, yeah, that's pretty cool. So yes, like the ending was such a crazy reveal. It does sequel bait itself, obviously, but it does so in a really cool, interesting way. It's not a fully complete storyline like something like the original Predator felt like, and that's why I don't think it's as good as that one. And that one's like slow burn suspense. This one's like get the action from the get-go and get all sorts of violent, creative kills. But this is an amazing film. Now, when they're each kind of given different weapons too, like the samurai guy's got a sword there, the one girl's got her axe, and the one guy's given a handgun, but it's the handgun that we saw in Prey and also the same one in Predator 2, which makes me wonder, like, was this after Predator 2? Did they capture Danny Glover again? Or maybe this is set right before Predator 2, in that he's got the weapon, and then it ends up in the hands of another Yautja clan, because again, this is one Yautja clan that doesn't really seem to have as much of an honor system, because, some Yautjas, like, they'll acknowledge, okay, like, here's your weapon and all that, like Danny Glover in Predator 2. This clan is a little bit different. You have the warlord Predator who doesn't care, like, oh, you killed one of them? Well, guess what? You're going to be continuously fighting for my amusement until, like, you try to fight me, and it's just going to go on forever, and it's an endless battle of, like, trying to kill the ultimate prey. So I thought that was kind of interesting. I remember hearing, like, stuff, like, years ago about, like, a sequel to Predators with Arnold, who was already initiated into, like, a Yautja clan, and kind of giving, like, a civil war of sorts. Maybe this is the way they bring it all back together in that way, and I don't know about you, but that sounds really exciting to me. Like, what a really cool idea, and fuck yeah, it's finally, you got people in charge of this franchise that are just like, what if we did this? This sounded really cool, and plus with animation, you can do things like, more cost effectively than you can do in live action. So we're getting to see stuff that probably like studios aren't willing to risk as much money to showcase, like the big aerial battles and all that too, and go to the Yautja homeworld, which I guess Predator Badlands is going to kind of do, but this is really cool stuff. We're being creative with it again. We're showing some cool scenarios. Big crazy reveals at the end. Like, I haven't been this excited for like the Predator franchise since Predators. So I think we're in pretty good hands. This made me more excited for Predator Badlands, even though the design of that yacht is a little bit, And, some things you could critique about. Like I said, the ending is more sequel-baity and doesn't feel fully complete. And maybe because it felt a little bit of a shorter film, but damn, I wasn't fucking entertained for this thing, like from start to finish. And like I said, I think this is the best, excuse my pardon, French, but the best Predator sequel I think we've ever gotten, unless it's still like a prequel or something like that. Because like now we don't exactly know what year how long they've been suspended in animation for, because like it could be because you have the gun right there, like because it has to end up in the hands of Danny Glover. Was he kidnapped by another Yautja clan after the fact? Like, where's the honor in that? So, or maybe this is like before Predator 2 and they get the gun back here and then it ends up in like this other clan that's like a rival clan to the one that we see in this movie, the Warlord and all that, and then it ends up back in the hands of Danny Glover at some point, because it's got to end up there at some point, and I don't know exactly how they're going to do that, but it is a cool Easter egg. I thought it was really cool. I was all tied together. It would have been easier for them to just kind of give something else, but now there's like more mystery to this gun. Like, this gun has seen so much stuff, and I'm just curious how it's all going to tie together and all that too. And what if this is the way they finally bring Arnold back into the mix? And that would be like exciting for me, because like I've been wanting to see Arnold back in a Predator movie for many years, and he's getting up there in age. And if you want to showcase him in an interesting way that, like, you can kind of get him in, like, classic Arnold shape, just do it animated like this. Or maybe we finally see an old man Dutch who's initiated into, like, one of the rival Yautja clans who's got to work together to stop this kind of Predator civil war. Look at that. All really cool concepts that I want to see kind of unleashed in this franchise. But Predator Killer of Killers is a big thumbs up for me. Like I said, it's giving me the things I've always wanted to see, and it's doing so in a fun, really interesting, and exciting fashion. So, really awesome stuff. Go check it out. Big thumbs up, big kudos. This is what we should be doing with the franchise for a long time. We're finally getting it. In Dan Trachtenberg, we trust. I think he's a great director. Really loved his work on 10 Cloverfield Lane. And, the ending's a little bit iffy on that one, but up to that movie was fantastic. But that felt like more of a studio forcage. And Prey was really solid. I don't think it's as good as a lot of people make it out to be, but I still think it was pretty cool in different time periods and all that too. Like, this is what we want to see. And I just think this one right from the get-go, immediately interesting, good animation, so many violent, gruesome deaths, and just expanding on the lore in some interesting and unique sort of ways. Like, what a genius idea. Like, I never even would have thought of doing the suspended animation for these characters, and it is inevitable. We are going to get Alien vs. Predator again at some point, and with this creative team involved, that's what I want to see. Do it again, but get it done right this time. So, yeah, those are my quick thoughts on it. Really enjoyed the movie. Really excited for what they do next with the series, and fuck yeah, this is great. So give me more of this shit. But anyways, that's all I have to say. As always, take care now. Bye-bye then. I will see you all in the next video. Peace out.